Going on stream. Doing a short one today because somebody's internet decided it was going to shut off and not work. So we're just going to do a little bit of Monster Hunter Wilds. Making sure everything is up and going, which it looks like it is. Okay. All right, I think we are good to go for the most part. Make sure it's been a while since I've used the capture card, so I gotta make sure everything is the way it should be, which it is. Fantastic. I didn't think the capture card does 120 hertz, let alone 4K, but here we are, I guess. I guess we're going to find out how smooth it is. I doubt it's going to be very smooth because it's Xbox. Also, that is very loud. I'm going to turn that down on my end. So I can Okay, listening to the stream. It is just One second. We're going to test this, see how it sounds. I don't know how good it sounds. I think it's still pretty loud. All right, test 1, 2. Moving the speed a bit better. Okay, we're going to continue the Queen save file because it's what I was using with Abby. Get it ahead a little bit, that way I don't have to wait for cutscenes on it, or try to run ahead and get them. I think I'm going to turn this down a little bit more. sketchy today, but double check OBS settings, make sure we're recording at the maximum FPS that we can get, which I'm pretty sure we are. This one. All right, test 1 2. Giving a little bit more time for everybody to show up. By everybody, I mean like one person. Alright, I think we are good to go. I don't even remember how to play this game, I'm gonna be honest. It's been a few months since I played it. So I think we should start with something easy. You know what? Yeah, we'll go with a Rumpopolo. How to play this game? What's the sacred button? I have no idea. Start auto moving, please. There you go.
Got a sec? I got something for you.
ride with you? Wow, what a view!
I should look over there. Need to be careful, but could be helpful to have a campsite here.
Calm the mind. Focus. I'll just hop off for now.
I'm pretty sure I got a way around that, but okay.
Leave
Fine,
this
I'm
to
just
me.
gonna take one more
Heels inbound.
Not a bad start. Wasn't what I was supposed to hunt. It's a good start. I don't even know what my secondary weapon is. Oh, it's greatsword. Okay. That's fine.
I'll just hop off. Leave this to me. Heels inbound. Time to go on the abyss.
It really.
This'll wreck you that quick. Up on his last legs. Just a little more.
What's up, brother?
Way to the death trap.
You're here on a weird day. This is not your usual watch day.
moving to a new area.
Ah. Well, you can enjoy the nerdy Monster Hunter game, I guess, until you find a new show. And since I was busy,
Good hunt. Now, let's go find Maggie. She can't have gone far.
I was collecting those bones, but okay. Thanks, game.
Hello? Who's there? Look! Please, can you help me? Rokul hurt himself when we were running.
Think I twisted something.
This is all my fault. I'm sorry.
Oh, lighten up. I'll be fine. I can't wait to see the boss's face. He'll get it. Oh! Norway then!
Lore? Well,
So,
that's different depending on the game.
What's your story, friends?
We keep waiting for you.
So this one,
The chief
so
told us what happened.
the ploy they've been doing with the last few games is you are a hunter, obviously, monster hunter, and you hunt monsters, clearly.
Okay.
Typically, you go through guild authorization. There's a whole hunting guild in this universe,
This will be
and
enough.
you go through a whole
When does the fire
guild
spring begin?
basically to accept hunts
Glad
to
you asked.
kill monsters, just so it's balancing the ecosystem more or less. This game takes a spin off of that now, where you don't require guild authorization. You can just hunt whatever you want.
Great apes!
Um,
Start to get really
but
worked up
basically,
when the fire spring is
storyline-wise,
about to happen.
it's a new region they're
We
exploring.
have to leave before they see us.
They've never been out here, and then they see some pieces of civilization, and they're like, "Oh, let's stop around here." This is actually like second or third chapter into the game, but that's besides the point.
They're starting without
You
us.
find this little kid named Nata, I believe. It's been like 4 months since I played this, so I don't remember. And this is the second playthrough I've done. This kid.
Get your head out of the crew.
Basically, he finds this monster that nobody has ever seen before, and all of a sudden the entire guild is interested, and they want to know what this monster is, because there's no record of them anywhere. And the guild is actually really good at keeping track. Like, it's hundreds of years old. They have notes back hundreds of years on ancient monsters that have gone extinct, so they say. But basically, this kid finds this monster, and now we're on a giant goose chase trying to figure out what this monster is and all that. And I can't remember at this point in the storyline if we've actually met the monster yet. I don't think we have. But he's basically an ecosystem destroyer. So now, once we figured that out, it's just kind of trying to kill him so that we can save the ecosystem because he's destroying it.
Ready?
And then it turns into other things because he's not the big bad that everybody thought he was. He was
Nothing.
the big small, I guess.
Chief, what is this?
Basically, the whole premise of each one is monsters in area, fight monsters, keep village safe. All of a sudden, new scary monster shows up nobody knows about that's destroying everything. Work our way up to killing said monster.
Everyone stop!
That's the general
Festival is off!
storyline of Monster Hunter.
What?
which is a lot to take in, I know, but you got to kind of play the game to understand it.
Don't cry, Maki. We'll have other chances.
Sorry about this, travelers. You too, my friend. This has never happened before.
How can this be? The fire spring never fails to come.
Forgive me, but if it's a natural phenomenon, there's not really any way of knowing when or
Yeah,
if
no,
it
it's an
will
acquired
occur,
taste.
correct?
It's not really
What are you
Souls-like, but it
talking about?
is.
Does the sun forget to rise?
You got stamina, you got health,
Exactly. The cycle of fallow and plenty is a
leveling up
natural
weapons and stuff.
constant.
It's Souls-like, but not Souls-like.
I'm not giving up now. We have to fix this.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think you all need to see this.
Let's take a look.
I'm told this helical beauty is known as the land spine. There. Do you recognize those crystals?
Is that Wilk?
Correct. And this network is its source. Look, the crystals are forming wherever the land spine is damaged.
But they were using Wilk and Kunafa too, like it was nothing unusual at all.
I think we can assume the land spine stretches all across the Eastlands. Our friends here were using the Wilk to
Well,
stoke
see,
their
you have
ever-forged,
nightmares
but it's
about
no
Elden Ring
ordinary
because
fuel.
you're weird and you decided to
And
do it straight on
therein lies
PC
our
on
enigma.
PC controls and not a
What is it?
controller.
What is this energy for?
My background cancellation is messing that up. This is actually
Right.
just on the Xbox. I got a
Just
capture
gonna have
card.
to fix it.
You made it harder for yourself with Elden Ring. In all fairness.
What is it?
You must return to the village. Sandtide is coming.
Impossible. It is too soon.
We thought so as well. Even the elder.
I see. I am sorry, but I must return home.
Of course.
Go look after your people.
Get an
Guess
Xbox.
that we'll...
I'm going with him.
That's my only suggestion. Or
What if
get a
the
controller.
White Wraith comes
Controllers are
back?
much cheaper than an Xbox.
It showed up on the day of the rainstorm.
Oh,
We saw it fly off in the direction of
I
the
think this
desert.
is the kids'
Maybe.
explanation.
It's inside the sandstorm this time.
It is possible.
I'd like to join as well. I must learn more about this creature's unique abilities.
Sounds like we're all going back to Kunafa then.
Chapter 2. We are in Chapter 2 right now. I was close. It's been a while since I played.
Let's prepare to leave quickly.
I'll leave when I want to leave. I cannot fast travel. Okay. Guess I am leaving then. Nah, you get used to it.
We should head for Kunafa.
I
as
say
soon as
that, and I
possible.
grew up on a
Are you
controller.
all set on supplies?
Good old PlayStation 2 days, and here I am. Keyboard, mouse. I was about to show you my mouse, but it does not go up that far. Yeah, I was like strictly console when I started, and here I am.
Everyone, we're leaving.
Now I'm a jack of many trades.
Zato, what's the situation?
Chaotic. We cannot unravel why the sand tide is happening again so soon.
we intend to go to the Eye of the Storm. There's a good chance the monster we're after is there.
The Eye of the Storm? You mean the wind's gasp? No telling what terror.
Oh man, I loved PS2 days. Good old Final Fantasy X. Yeah, I know, nerd, whatever. There's this fantastic game called Champions Return to Arms. I had a prequel called Champions of Norath, and I grew up on that game. No joke. Besides Final Fantasy X and my, like, 600 hours on my PS2 save on it, I think the Champions games I had probably a cumulative of, like, another 800 hours on. It was ridiculous. It was such a good game. Back then, that was like the bee's knees. There was nothing better than that.
I see it.
Something's definitely not right. Look at all the Karatanoth. Teleos too. How flimsy. That's telling.
Oh, this wind and lightning. Watch yourself now.
Are you sure this is the right way? Check the map if you get lost.
Oh, this is actually, I think, the first introduction to when we see the monster.
Whatever made that sound is not happy.
This is basically what we're out to fight.
Stay on your toes.
I know life stuff. I don't have a life. That's my problem. That's how I spend so many hours in things. So Mr. Chainman, this guy, he is the little big.
But what's the other one? From the look of it, that must be this region's apex predator.
He's the title monster. That's what this entire game is for.
Let's get ugly. We better keep our distance.
Well, we can observe from afar.
What?
Can't!
Why? Why did it attack us? Did we do something wrong? There must be a reason, right? You're a hunter. You've got a weapon, and you do nothing? Give it to me, and I'll... Why won't you let me go? I want to go home. Give me my village back.
A little bit of extra backbore for at least the more recent Monster Hunters. So, calling back to the guild authorizes you to do things, because you can't just do it on your own. Most hunters have a handler that issues them quests from the guild.
Absorbing its energy?
So the chick with glasses is my handler, and she's the one that authorizes me hunting. It's just extra backbore. There's a lot of lore in Monster Hunter, surprisingly. It's more than just fight monster, kill monster, get resources, make better armor.
That doesn't look good. Run! Shoot, 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 shoot! It's not berserk. The village is doomed if we don't stop it. I'll find us a spot to lay low. I'm going too. We've got to get Nata out of here.
Got it.
I'll provide support for the time being.
Thanks. Thanks.
Protect the surrounding population. No authorizes you to hunt Ray down.
Understood. I'm on it.
Look out! Leave this to me. Heels inbound.
Yeah, no, every fight in this game is a boss fight. Like every fight in this game is a boss fight.
To a new area. The others should be at the camp beneath the oasis.
Got it.
I have no idea what he's doing. Me entertained. I don't mind the long fights. If you're a bad hunter, you're looking at like 30-40 minutes per fight, and each hunt typically has a time limit of like 50 minutes, which is actually very generous. Like really good hunters, like speedrunners, they can clear just about any monster in less than like 3 minutes with the right setup. Not me though, because I'm not great. I did not want that. Put that away. Oh, and it's like that with every monster too. There are with open beta for the game. The title monster, the white chain-bladed one that I was talking about, he had a timer of 20 minutes, and the only equipment it gave you was quite literally the starting equipment. It's doable. I never got to pull it off with the, like, 2 or 3 days that the beta was running at a time. But, like, 20 minutes is normal for, like, some events. 50 minutes is very generous. Like, very generous. That's for, like, the people who really aren't good at these games. But whenever I'm like in practice and not rusty, and I've played more recently than 4 months ago, I can usually clear a monster out in less than 10 minutes with the right setup. You probably would for a bit, until you got used to everything. The game is not easy to learn either. There are about 14 different weapon classes, and they all handle differently. Most people end up choosing one, and they stick with it throughout their entire Monster Hunter career, maybe delving into a second one. I can actually play all 14 of them, surprisingly. I don't know how. Honestly, just because I get bored. My ADHD brain can't handle the same class over and over again for like 600 times. A lot of people have that problem. They honestly, because of how in-depth the fighting system is with each weapon, once they go through all 14 of them and kind of look at them, there are slow ones. There are like really heavy slow ones. There are kind of normal, and then there's some like really fast ones, and then you got your ranged options. Usually, people pick one, and then they're done. That's it. They will play 200 hours of a game on one weapon type. And I can dip over to my main save. This one is just the co-op save. I'm just getting it ahead because Monster Hunter likes to, multiplayer-wise, makes all characters watch the fight cutscene before actually being able to join another person's hunt with that monster. So I'm just getting a lot of the fight cutscenes over with for the story, so I don't have to worry about that. I just gotta wait for her to do it.
Phew, that was one heck of a monster.
But let me show you the main character.
They should still be at the pop-up camp.
I think I've spent a couple hundred hours on the main one already. It's ridiculous. And this was back when it like just came out. Okay, just shy of 100, but still, like this was within probably the first couple weeks of the game coming out. I clocked in 87 hours. It's ridiculous. But let me show you my stats on this one. My hunt stats. I tried to alternate weapons and rotate all the way around just to keep myself fresh with each of them. Oops.
We got a message from Eric. He said something in the smiling forest caught his
But if I
attention.
go to my hunter
Shall we go
profile,
and hear what he has to say?
so I think I took like 1 or 2 days off. I don't think I took forever. Baldur's Gate, I took off. I know that. But on the right, these Monster Hunter Wilds does it differently. You have a primary and a secondary weapon now. The primary is the first number. Let me see if I can switch to just screen. Okay, here we go. The first number is the primary. That's how many hunts I've done with it in my primary slot. And then the second one is how many hunts I've done with it in my secondary slot. So I mean, like, you can look through and see just how many hunts I've done. It's a non-arena quests, 166 so far. And that was just in the 87 hours I played, like, the week or two after it actually launched. Altogether, I've done 174 quests of any kind. So I've got a little bit of practice in the game. If you want to see something truly sad, I could show you Monster Hunter World, and that's disappointing, is what it is. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. Play. My log time in here is, it's sad. You thought my Steam record was bad? You got to look at this. It's not as bad as the Steam record, but it's not much better either. I forgot how many hours were in here. Oops. I've got a few hours in the game. Just a few, though. Not a whole bunch. Only about altogether like 1,250 hours on just Xbox. On just Xbox. It's a little sad. I played this a lot when it came out in like 2018. I played it off and on up until Monster Hunter Rise came out in like 2021. And then I had to wait like a year or two for Rise, after Rise came out, before I could manage to get my hands on the Switch to play it. And then I off and on played this until pretty much Wilds came out. But if I go to my guild card on this one, Yeah, I've got a little bit of playtime. I don't know if it shows you how many quests I've completed in this game. Kind of. I tended to favor in this game. This is my first actual Monster Hunter game, and this is my first save file, so you can tell that favoritism really kicked in on this. And there are some weapons I never even touched on this save. Like the gun lance, it's at 0 right now. And the hunting horn. I never finished a quest with either of those. This game doesn't have a primary and secondary. These are, you bring one weapon on the hunt. So most of my fights were with dual blades. Which is this one. Nowhere near as sad. It's just the playtime that's awful. The guiding lands is in world is like in game, just kind of like a sandbox playground where you can kind of summon any monster you want and get parts and stuff to do more upgrades. I spent 40 hours in just that place alone. It's sad. I spent a lot of time in this game. But yeah. And there's still one monster in here I cannot beat. And I don't think I will ever be able to beat him. Yeah, I am not okay. Now, if you need proof of how sad my life is, I will pull back up just the character selection so you can take a screenshot of the playtime. Just to prove to them how bad my life is. Like, they think 300 hours is bad. This is bad. Let me see, what's the most played game I have on Steam? While we're here. Can I filter it by... Nah, it's sad. It's sad. Do we need to pull out SteamDB again? I mean... Let me just pull out SteamDB again. I think you need a reminder of how sad my life is. This is just Steam. This isn't even Xbox. I have a tenth of my hours in just Steam could go to Monster Hunter World alone. That's sad. Anyways. And I just dropped my controller. Good job. Let's see. I still need to look and see what my highest played game is. Here's the list. I don't know why Arma 3 is here. It just is. Baldur's Gate for obvious reasons. When I was in a huge crave, Terraria was a big one. This is just my Steam saves, which I think I've lost because cloud saving issues. Another 450 hours besides the PlayStation 2, and there's PlayStation 3, and there's the Switch. I've got this game like everywhere. My bones ache with this one. That's just an idler game. I really got bored. I I played a mechanic simulator. Good old Gmod. Haven't played that in a while. And then a lot more Final Fantasies, and then just kind of just random games like Borderlands, American Truck Simulator, which the steering wheel is over here. I do not have anything I could quickly. In case you need proof, here's the shifter. It is over there. I just haven't. I need to get the Elden Ring run going. Shouldn't have taken that off because now I can't get it back on. All right, hold on. Still need to do the Elden Ring run on that. I want you to know probably 20 of these hours is actually with the steering wheel. The other 220 are with mouse and keyboard. Icewind Dale is Baldur's Gate before Baldur's Gate became a thing. Divinity is Baldur's Gate before Baldur's Gate 3 became a thing. More Final Fantasies and just miscellaneous stuff. You can tell how bad my life is because I've just got casually like 150 hours and everything. Good ice truck stream. Wow, could be good. Like, is that a game or? Because I'd be down to look at it. You know how much of a nerd I am? I got 200 hours in a programming game. Programming. And then just a bunch of random junk.
Well done! Phew, that was one heck of a monster. Should we go find the others? They should still be at the pop-up camp.
Oh, it is a game? Alright, hold up.
How is
Let
he?
me just...
He's calmed down.
Is it on Steam? Is it like Ice Truck Sim or something? Dog. You could have just told me what name it was. Alright, hold on. Oh. It was the first one I pulled up actually because I just looked up Ice Trucks Sim, and this was the first one that came up. Honestly, looks like a banger. I'd play it. I am adding it to the wish list. I should just do an American Truck Simulator stream at some point. I don't have any of the DLC for it. There is a Missouri DLC, and you can go to Springfield. It's amazing, I know, and I kind of actually want to spend money on it. But I may try Ice Truckers when it comes out. Secured my big rig and little steering wheel. My way of not having the chair roll back is quite literally I found an old pair of shoes to put behind two of the wheels so it doesn't roll back. It works, technically. But I will add this to the wish list because this actually looks pretty gnarly. Looks like it's got really good graphics too. But it's still to be planned to release, so who knows? It could be absolutely awful.
Says he'd rather be alone. It's the first time I've seen him this upset. Poor kid.
He'll be okay.
Hey, there's something I need to show you.
Huh?
It's back there.
Go ahead. I'll watch the entrance.
Thanks.
Appreciated.
Why is it glowing?
No clue, but I noticed it when setting up camp.
So, this.
Yeah,
is
because I ain't got no
what
space to
was
put that
going on
thing.
about.
If I had space to put
Yeah.
that thing and a
It
way
looks
to
just like what we
mount
saw
a
in the
monitor in
zoos,
front of it so it's not
except
6
this
feet
one's
away from me,
glowing.
I would have
So,
considered it. But I don't have
where do
anywhere
you
to put
think
it and I don't have a way to
goes?
mount a monitor. So here we are. 2 shoes works fine. It was free because they were old shoes.
Sandstorm died down.
No big D.
Good. We can go back outside.
yeah. It stopped glowing.
What does it mean?
I'm just gonna toss this out there, but I think this and the sandstorm might be connected. Silly, right?
No, it's a real possibility. We should tell Werner what we found.
Good idea. But do you mind if we stop by Kunafa before we go?
I used 2 old t-shirts in the beginning and they eventually I tie them like around the leg
Yeah,
and the wheel
Good call.
in an attempt to not get it to slide off.
Eric and I will take Nata back to base.
And they
Let's
unfortunately
join up later.
ended up sliding off. So I got 2 shoes.
What an
2 old
ordeal.
dress shoes,
And that
specifically
monster you
ones
faced,
that had ripped themselves apart,
the Elder has spoken of its
which is
fierceness
whenever I
and
was
how it
gluing them.
influenced our use of
So I
gem
found 2 old shoes that were, the soles were coming off, that I tried to glue and then just gave up on them and got new ones. Those are my wheel stoppers now whenever I play anything with the steering wheel.
If either have reached the village, I do not have the words to thank you for what you have done.
The White Wraith retreated to the oil well basin. But we don't know any more than that. Eric seemed convinced that what we saw was the White Wraith absorbing elemental energy.
It's a lot to chew on. But our first order of business should be to talk to Werner.
It does work
Back to Azusa.
surprisingly well. I didn't think it would. It was a wild shot. I considered looking to see if I could replace some of the wheels with like locking wheels on this thing. They'll need to know that the shoe works. So much better. While I'm here at camp, actually,
I'll get ready
I'll show
to.
you all the different weapon classes. So these are the weapon classes. Greatsword is, I would say, think Buster Sword from Cloud in Final Fantasy VII, but you wouldn't even know who that is, unfortunately. Big giant sword. Moves slow, hits hard. Longsword, the Monster Hunter community it's for the weebs, and it kind of is, but it's really fun to play because it counterattacks constantly, as long as you can get the timing right. Sword and Shield is most basic. This is one of the ones a lot of beginners go for because they don't know what to play. Dual Blades is the one all the beginners go for to play because it's so easy. It's so fast and maneuverable. Hammer, Monster Hunter community would just sum up hammer with one word: bonk. And their whole goal is debunk the head of the monster. That's all it does. There's nothing special about it. Hunting Horn, it's like hammer, but it plays notes. And the notes actually give you bonuses. Lance is just a giant lance and shield. Gun Lance is Lance but on steroids. It's in the name. It's a gun lance. It shoots. Not very far, but it shoots, and it's fun to work. Switch Axe is basically like Great Sword that morphs into just a giant axe. I don't know where they came up with the idea, but it works. It's also really fun to play. Both modes are slow. The axe is a little bit faster than the sword. Charge Blade is one of the next most common ones played because it also has a shield. It is basically like a sword and shield, a different combo set than a sword and shield, but it can transform into a giant axe, like the Switch Axe pretty much, or basically into a chainsaw. And the chainsaw is the most fun part of the entire weapon. The Insect Glaive is, I don't even know how to hold answer. That's it. That's all I got you. But you control a Kinsect. It's just an insect, a giant butterfly moth-looking thing. And you basically just fly around in the air and smacking it in the air and stuff. It's not very useful against small monsters like the one that they're previewing, but which kind of in the way. But let me see if I can just move that out of the way real quick, like there. It's got ground attacks, but it really shines in the aerial attacks. The bowguns, light bowgun is a really fast, it's a gun that shoots bolts, basically. It's crossbow, think crossbow, but like automatic to a degree. Heavy bowgun is, it does more damage, you move slower, you get some defensive capabilities. And then bow is, it's written on the box, it's a bow. Shoots arrows, that's it. Monster Hunter Wilds makes all of these fun to play. Monster Hunter World, like Hunting Horn, was like never used unless you were in a co-op playthrough. Some of the other ones not used were like Lance and Gun Lance because they're very defensive based. They're meant specifically to take damage. But yeah, usually people will choose like Dual Blade, Sword and Shield, or Charge Blade, and then never change because they're so easy to play. And then some people play the harder ones only, like Great Sword or the Lances, because they're all slow. And then there are some people who will play all 14 classes, which is me. That's what I do. I'm going to move myself back now. I think for the co-op playthrough, I have just been working on Longsword. I don't think I've touched anything else. I think all my other stuff is like level 1, basically. Except Charge Blade. Apparently I leveled up a Charge Blade at one point. And a bow. The main gimmick with the repetitive loop on this is, I mentioned it earlier, just killing things, getting resources, making better stuff. To just upgrade stuff, that's it.
Got something in mind?
Since I'm still so early in the game, a lot of these are not unlocked yet. But you would use like monster parts. they all have their own gimmick. Let me actually head to the training arena,
Done already?
and I can kind of show you some of the unique things about some of them. A lot of them just have extra moves compared to older games. But like if I can remember how to do it, the Charge Blade is really fun to play when it's in chainsaw mode. If I can remember how to play it. I don't know if I'll be able to remember how to pull it out. That's the long sword. One of the main gimmicks about Charge Blade is up in the top up here is where like if you have any kind of specific like ammo or like a file or something like a spirit gauge, it's like weapon specific. Any kind of consumable for the class is up here. And Charge Blades has files, and the more you hit, your weapon will glow a brighter and brighter red until eventually it is like molten, basically, like it is now. And you can charge it, and it puts those charges into your files. And then from there, you can unlock some other things, like powering up your shield, which, if I remember right, helps block a little bit, but I don't remember because it's been so long since I played Charge Blade. The next thing you can do is charge your sword itself, and it will, whenever you strike, deal an extra little tick of damage. You can see that 16 and then the 8. The 8 is the extra damage from the shield. And I believe applies to every attack you do. If I can remember how to... I don't remember how to pull it off. I know you can trigger it with monster attacks. I may need to do that. Okay. I can't remember how to pull out chainsaw mode. I know you can do it when you block a monster attack. Training settings.
Making some changes? Let's give it a try.
That's not it. I gotta remember how to do it. Wounds are another guaranteed way to do it. I just did that. There we go. There's a way to do it by blocking. This is my favorite part of the entire weapon. But yeah, that's the main gimmick of it. All the other ones have gimmicks. It'll take too long to go through all of them. I mean, the hard part for a new player is figuring out the combos for everything, like Charge Blade specifically. Being as rusty as I am, it took me a minute to remember how to get the chainsaw blade out. Some other ones, like there's a finishing combo on the switch axe when it's in sword mode. It is fun. They're all really fun. Some of them more so than others because they're not walking around like a lug. Like, let me grab this one. Hunting horn's alright, but it's very limited on what you can do. So up in the top right, it shows your combo for which button plays which note. Combo is of Y and B is that note. But each hunting horn has its own set of effects. So most of them have self-improvement, which just increases your own stats to a degree. And then like the rest of these all change depending on the horn you're using. So this one offers attack up small, or fire resistance small, or sonic waves. And it shows you can hold up to 4 chain notes at a time. But as long as you string them together, they will actually add to a queue. So I did the 2 white notes, so it triggers self-improvement whenever I'm ready to use it. And then if it goes off of the last played note. So now technically I'm starting at white. So if I play a red, it'll show like a queue of what you can press next to get whatever effect you want. Like this case, I can play another white to get attack up small, or I can play another red to get echo wave. So you would just play whatever note you want again. And then at this point, I mean, you could continue and do 2 reds if you wanted, or you could start a different set. Like if you do the double press and then red and then white, you can get the fire resistance. And then if you press the right trigger and keep pressing it, it'll go through each one. And then once you're done, as long as you don't get knocked out, you'll get the full effect of each one. So like I have attack up small and fire resistance now, and a little bit of self-improvement. You do have the option to basically end the concert on like the first effect you get and get its full effect, and then put the others back into the queue. So if I grab like self-improvement and then attack up small, if I play it and then decide to just encore it, it'll finish with the attack up and then put the self-improvement back in the queue. It's meant more for support and like a group. Groups of 4 and a hunt. I never mentioned that. Hunts have up to 4 hunters at a time. So they're mainly used for support. They can be, if you get a good setup, they can be really good on your own, but you don't see them played much on their own in the wild. Hammer, like I said, it's just one word, bonk. That's all it does. That's all it does. I could understand that. The next heavy hitter is the hammer. You can charge it and get like charge smacks out of it. You can see my character glow each time a level goes up. Maximum level is the red one. And this is a new move actually, where you can just do a huge slam. It's just that's all it does. It's just bonks. That's all it's known for. What's next? Longsword is just, since I'm actually here, I can kind of show the counters more whenever it's more controlled. It's harder to see it in a fight, especially against something giant. Longsword is one of those, you can play it when you actually know how to dodge in this game. Because the counter window is so small. It's smaller than a dodge, I'm pretty sure. But it's only one that you can really play once you recognize the monster's moves. So let me just switch. It is definitely the Wii weapon of the entire community. It's been a while since I've honestly played, so trying to get the timing down. The smashing thing is fun. and I just can't get it for the life of me. I'm not usually in the training arena, so I don't know what the timing combo is on this. There we go. But if you manage to do a foresight slash in time, you'll kind of glow, and shing is an easy way to put it, and you'll basically nullify the attack. The next one is the EI Spirit Slash, which basically does the same thing, but it does a lot of damage. And up in the top corner, this is your sharpness bar. On any melee weapon, you actually have to sharpen, which if you have limited knowledge of Monster Hunter, you might have already known that. But this is a spirit gauge. Longsword does more damage the higher it up it is. Red is the maximum level. In Wilds, red actually gets a new combo set now. It didn't used to. One cool thing you can do, which I don't know if I'll be able to get it off in time. I think I am. Nope, I am not. Is it has a like end counter basically. Once I get there, it can only be done in the red gauge. That entire moveset is new to WoW, and I know it like the back of my hand because I've played Longsword so much. It's actually, the going up and slicing down is consistent with older games, but the whole twirly part of it is new. It's just the same input, basically. Next is the sword and shield. It's one of the most basic ones. You have a tiny sword and a tiny shield. It can block, it can slice. That's about it. It slices, it bashes with the shield. That's all it does. There's nothing really special about it. It has, on wounds, some interesting mechanics where you can like launch yourself up in the air or kind of do a stab, but you can kind of do both without the wound system. I'll show you this one. So you can go up, and then you can plunge yourself down. Really good against big monsters, not so good against small ones. But you can do it physically too. I don't know why it's a part of the wound mechanic for it, because you can do it naturally. You can also do a small plunge attack. But this is new. This wasn't here before. So that's about it. There's nothing special about the sword and shield. The dual blades, this is the next most common one used amongst beginners because it's very easy to use. You have a demon gauge up in the corner. It's consumable for the class. When it's empty, you don't really get to use full advantage of the dual blades moveset, but if you press the trigger and turn on demon mode, you can build up the demon gauge. You attack much quicker. You're much more evasive. If you dodge a move at the exact same time it hits you, you can actually get a period of being able to attack whenever you're dodging. I think it has a slightly longer evade window, and I think it evades just a bit quicker. When your demon gauge is filled up, and it's to the point that it can drain itself when you're out of demon mode, like it is now, you keep a lot of the same general movesets in demon mode, and your dodges stay demon mode based. Every move you do ends up taking up your demon mode bar, but you can always switch back in. Demon mode itself takes up stamina. So it's a constant battle of trying to save your stamina for dodges and also maintain demon mode. But it's a really maneuverable weapon class. It's really easy to play. It's what a lot of people go for. Lances, there's nothing fancy about it. It's just a lance, really. it can do a counter thrust if you manage to time it. It does get a power guard, which lets you basically block everything. Some attacks are not blockable, but the power guard can block them, I'm pretty sure. You can dash with it. So if the monster is like just laying down, uses up stamina, but it's a consistent way of just dealing a bunch of damage all at once while they're like laying down or something. But other than that, there's nothing special about it. Gun lance, it's similar, but slightly different. It still keeps its thrusting capabilities. It no longer gets the ability to ram into things, but it does have a gun. It no longer gets the ability to counter. Its countering moveset is replaced with a reload for the shells. You can technically guard with it, but there's just no counter. You have a move called Wyvern's Fire, which is just a giant explosion that does a bunch of damage. You have a Worm Stake, which I'm trying to remember how to do. Here we go. It basically sticks a piercing shell into them and just stabs them over and over again. Beyond that, there's nothing else fancy about it. Next one is Switch Axe. It's a bit slow. It's axe form. Up in the top is its axe and blade modes. Axe mode regenerates this yellow bar. Sword mode depletes it, but it fills up this little bar here. And when it's full, it does, the blade mode does more damage. This one is for the axe mode. If it is filled, and it's only filled one certain way as far as I know, it actually speeds up the recovery of the yellow bar. So like if we switch to sword mode, you can see that red bar going up. The yellow bar goes down. So now it's full. Extra damage, just kind of like the charge blade. It just does another tick of damage. And if you switch back to axe mode, you see the yellow bar goes back up. It's trying to maintain everything. The only way to fill up that other bar is to do a wild swing, which is just pressing B over and over again, and then doing a heavy slam, I believe. Yep. And then this lets it fill up the yellow bar a lot quicker, if I remember right. The only special move this thing's got is an elemental discharge. And then a release slash to basically expend everything. But yeah, nothing else really fancy with it. The release slash all the way at the end is new, but everything else is consistent. The insect glaive, this is a hard one to explain. It's just one of those, it's not beginner friendly by any means. So the Kinsect has, most Kinsects have 2 input slots basically. You can target a monster and set it out on that monster. And there are 3 different modes, well 3 different effects that you have to get off the monster. They're all placed on different locations on each monster. So like this guy, the wheel is the white effect. And I forget what each effect does. Like the very front of it, you can kind of see in the middle of the cursor what effect you're going to be getting. But if you have all 3, you're able to dash all around the air. say that. There we go. They changed the moveset on it. This has been normal, as long as I know, at least. The only thing that's new is you can expend the effect charges to do like an ultimate move. It's just flying around the air pretty much. That's all it does. I mean, it's one of those, it's hard to show and hard to explain. It's just, you have to play it. And all of them have their own combo sets. There are combo sets for on the ground on this one, like I mentioned before, which are also enhanced whenever you have all three effects active. It's not as effective compared to the air, but it does work. If it's a smaller monster, this is probably what you would use. But that's about it for it. The bow guns will be easy to go through. I'll just show one of them. They both have their own special mechanics. They both classes have two different special mechanics that you can choose from. But I ain't gonna worry about that. So in the bottom right is an ammo storage, basically. That's not the button I meant to hit. Also, I don't know where my HUD is. There it is. Each bowgun type, like whatever one you craft, can only use specific ammo. So like this one can only use normal, pierce, spread, poison, thunder, recover, demon, and trank ammo. And they're all leveled 2. So like I can use level 2 normal ammo, but only level 1 pierce ammo. And these levels go up to, most of them go up to 3, except demon, trank, recover, armor, and I think one of the explosive ammos. But each ammo type does its own thing. Normal is just a normal shot. That's all it does. There's nothing special about it. Pierce actually does a little bit of piercing. Spread is like a shotgun. It's better up close. Poison just inflicts poison on the monster. It makes it take ticks of damage every now and then. Thunder, there's an elemental ammo for everything, pretty much. So this one just does thunder damage. Monsters have weaknesses, elemental weaknesses. Recover is just healing yourself. Demon is raising your own attack. There's an armor one. Trank ones are for putting monsters to sleep so you can capture them. You don't have to kill every single one. You can capture most of them. You just can't capture some of them. That's about it about the bowguns. And the heavy bowgun is basically the light bowgun, but just slightly different. It has different mechanics to it. Bow has become one of my favorites in Wilds. Down here, you have coatings for each bow. Same thing with the bow guns. It can only do specific coatings. Like this one can do a pierce coating or a poison coating. Old games, they were not infinite. This game, they basically are infinite. I can apply that coating for part of my charge bar down here, and I get 10 free shots of that pretty much. So this coating just does a little bit of pierce damage. That is one of its special moves. It's just 1,000 Dragons. It's basically a pierce. There's no reason to do it over pierce coating. I just do it for the gauge charge because pierce ammo and the 1,000 Dragons actually raises the bar really quickly. One of my next favorite things to do. See if I can get a wound on every single one. When there are multiple wounds on a monster, which are these red spots, the bow's special move is being able to target onto those wounds And for each of these triangles here is an extra set of arrows targeted onto that wound. And I can go up to 3 sets of arrows per wound that you can lock onto. I don't think there's a limit to how many wounds you can lock onto, but it is like a guaranteed way to knock a monster down if you can pull it off. And it does a considerable amount of damage. It's really fun to use against really big monsters especially. You can do a tracer shot, which basically will cause the arrow to... It's basically a targeted arrow. This is new. This was not here in old games. But now that it's off, you can see it's no longer there. It also works for the Dragon Piercer. That's really fun to use on really big monsters, because if you can line it up on, like, its tail or something, the tracer on its tail, and then, like, aim off to the side, like, perpendicular, get the arrow to run perpendicular down its body, it will heat sink through its entire body down to the tail. And it's a guaranteed way to get a whole bunch of damage. It's so much fun to do, and I don't think I have any big monsters I can show it with right now. But that's a quick run through of, like, all of the weapons, pretty much. They all have their own playstyles, and a lot of people get scared when they see that, so they only choose one, and it's usually like dual blade sword shield or charge blade, just because they're easier to use. But some people end up branching out and doing like a couple of them, and then there are some that just do every single one of them. So the more you know. Yes, magic missile is a very good way to put that. I wasn't even thinking in D&D terms. It is basically a magic missile. It's honestly so much fun. But on that note, it was just meant to be a really short stream today because somebody, her internet was out. So here I am. I figured I'd hop back in for a little bit just to kind of get back into the groove of it because I haven't played it since it came out, basically. So maybe tomorrow we'll be back to the normal schedule. We're thinking probably when we're done with Baldur's Gate, we are either going to do another Baldur's Gate run, but honor mode, or we're going to do Monster Hunter probably, because we can't think of what to do. We'll probably do Monster Hunter for a while until Borderlands 4 comes out, and then we're going to do Borderlands 4, and then we may go back to Baldur's Gate just to give us a break from Baldur's Gate, because we've spent quite a few hours in this run on Baldur's Gate. But yeah. Just a short stream to get back into it. I didn't have anything else to do today because this is usually a stream day for me, and I didn't have anything to do in case we weren't streaming. So I ended up streaming anyways. Ooh, radios. I didn't even see that. But anyways, short stream aside, I think I'm going to head out for the night. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my night now. Usually we're streaming for a bit longer, but I am done for the day. I've been going for a little bit now. Okay. You do you. F125 or any F1 game is not really high on my list. I believe I have one in Steam. Let me find out. I have 2015. That shows you how much I cared about the game. I only have F1 2015. Also, I don't know why Happy Birthday's playing. This is supposed to be a jazz set that's royalty free, and Happy Birthday plays. But enjoy F1. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. It'll probably be Fast Food Simulator or Minecraft. We haven't decided yet. Today was going to be Fast Food Sim. And then plans fell through, so we're not doing that. But yeah, have fun with F125. Let me know how it is. I probably won't be playing it. I'll probably be playing Ice Truckers at some point though once it comes out. It's in my wish list. Yeah, I should have figured. You know, I don't have... Alright, hold on. I gotta make some changes real quick. I just realized something. I need these in here. And I'm being yelled at by dogs. There we go. Now there's a chat. I don't know how I missed that before. But yeah, have fun with F125. You'll have to let me know how it is. There are dogs all around me right now. This is crazy. They think it's time to close up the chickens, and they're not too far from wrong. So I guess I'll take this as my cue to leave now. Bye-bye.